The San Antonio Spurs have made a sneaky perfect signing as Summer League standout first team all Summer League David Jones-Garcia has officially inked a two-way deal with the San Antonio Spurs, one of the biggest bargain contracts handed out by the Spurs this summer after reports of him declining Olympiacos deal over in the EuroLeague for over 2 million euros per season. He's coming into San Antonio at a much lower cap hit. We have to dive into what this means for the Spurs, how good of a deal this is, what Shams Charania had to say about it, and much more. But it is not just that. We got to talk a bit about Dylan Harper and Carter Bryant as well, and a couple of incredible quotes that we got to dive into as to just how good that they will likely be. And also a note from Chris Paul as he has signed with a new team, but he had some great stuff to say. All that coming up in this episode of Spurs Digest. And we'll start with CP3. As you guys probably already know, Chris Paul agreed to a deal with the LA Clippers. See, Stephen Human ties, it doesn't matter about these other names here, but look, this is probably going to be Chris Paul's final season in the NBA, his 21st NBA season. But we're not here to talk about what he's going to do in LA, because look, we're Spurs fans. We care about what he did in San Antonio and what he said on his way out. And I just want to shine some light here on the 28 minutes a game, the 9 points, 4 boards, 7.5 assists, solidly efficient from the field, and the leadership. There were so many moments this year that we adored with Chris Paul, but it really is what he said on the way out that we really enjoyed. Forgive us, because the graphic generator doesn't have emojis in it, so that's what you see. Those no glyphs, those are emojis. But grateful for the journey. Pray emoji. Thank you to the San Antonio Spurs organization, Coach Pop, Coach Mitch, my teammates, the coaching staff, and the incredible fans for welcoming me this past season. Proud to have been part of a franchise with such rich history and bright future. Nothing but love for the 210. Go Spurs go. Thank you, SA. And, really classy. Chris Paul, he turned around his reputation faster than I think anyone could have ever anticipated, because he's one of these guys that you just love to hate. I hated playing against Chris Paul. I hated watching him on the other team. But when he was on our team, he was nothing but good this whole year. The leadership, the lob passes, just like we thought, to Wemby, teaching so many young guys so many things. And I hope what he taught our young guys, especially someone like a Stephon Castle, will continue to live on now after Chris Paul plays what might be his final season and retires. And again, the dude filled in the void that we absolutely needed. Like, this dude ended up starting most of the games, right? And then, we did go acquire De'Aaron Fox. So, we will have a nice point guard rotation next year with the likes of Fox and Harper. But to hear all the praise that he had, to hear all the stories about how much he impacted this team and how well he gelled with this culture, it really is cool. So I just wanted to highlight what he had to say on the way out, because I think it's worth noting. But we're going to quickly move on to some other stuff. And there's other stuff here. It's interesting. And sometimes we don't always do this here, but there was an article pounding the rock where a few of the contributors were talking about different aspects of Summer League. And I wanted to dive into a bit of Dylan Harper and Carter Bryant, because I'll be honest, I just thought that they were really, really interesting, and I wanted to shed some light on it. So just go check out the link down below, as I am taking a couple quotes actually from Devin Birdsong, because I just really agreed with this, and I wanted to get your guys' opinion as well. Seeing that lateral and interior speed with Dylan Harper, with NBA spacing, had me in a time-traveling telephone booth. Wow, way with words here, because I haven't watched a San Antonio guard move so quickly and easily through the middle of the half court since a young Tony Parker. Granted, it was Summer League, but Harper strides through the paint like he's gliding on butter. Unfortunately, I don't have offensive Harper highlights, so you'll have to do with the defensive highlights, but you can see the footwork. And I wanted to highlight this quote because something there really caught my eye. Now, again, fast and easy, gliding through the paint like since Tony Parker. We've had a lot of solid guards since Tony Parker, but maybe none that have sliced through the paint as easily as him until now with Dylan Harper. And it's the ease that I wanted to focus on when we're talking about him, because he is fast, but it's the way he controls his body. You can see, I know I get it, we're talking Tony Parker so fast, so is Dylan Harper, but I see the shades of Manu sometimes, and you guys know, if you watch the show a lot, Manu, if you got this here, is my favorite player of all time. And so anytime I see any kind of shade of Manu, my eyes lock in like it's a heat-seeking missile, and I'm like, well, right there, what he did there, the slow pace as he's going to the net, slowing down his footwork a little bit to just throw the defense off their timing, these tough finishes in traffic that you're like, how did he just not get blocked there, right? It's the ease of getting to the rim. It makes it look easy, which is just it shouldn't be easy. It should never be easy for a guy at his age coming into the league doing this. Again, it is Summer League. There will be time to see and wait and see what he does in the NBA with it, but I wanted to hone in on that, and I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on, would you agree with this? Do you think that, I think this is a very interesting and fun take, would you say that he is the fastest, quickest getting to the rim as a guard since Tony Parker? I would say maybe De'Aaron Fox, because we have De'Aaron Fox now, and he did it. So, like, I mean, fine, Parker was on, like, another level, but hey, we'll have to wait and see what Dylan Harper does. Really, really interesting. But there was another quote from Devin that I wanted to highlight as well about Carter Bryant. And yeah, I just found this article really fun. I suggest you go read it. I think it's very much an early Kawhi Leonard situation. Throwing out these names, Tony Parker, Kawhi Leonard, when it comes to Bryant. If he can hit threes, the Spurs are going to find minutes for him because his raw talent on the defensive end already lends itself to high-end speculation. And I think that's bang on as well. Because if we're talking Carter Bryant Summer League, I mean, my goodness, the dude was absolutely smothering, but he didn't really get into his rhythm until the final Summer League game. Where, like, yeah, his final Summer League game, he did solid. He didn't play in the finale against the Pistons, but, like, his final outing, he got into that rhythm. He was hitting mid-range jumpers. He was hitting some threes, and even his first basket of Summer League was a leaning three. You can see the form is there, and his hustle. So when you hear it from, not just here, but you hear it from a lot of analysts, insiders, who are like, he'll kind of force your hand and force you to play him. If this guy's that disruptive and he can disrupt the offense so much that, like, they seem to struggle, especially if you're coming off the bench and you're going to, like, he's just going to find time to play. And that's the thing with him. The thing is, he will also have to stay on the floor. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. The good thing with Carter Bryant is that he's not going to have to create his own shot at the NBA level nearly to the extent that people were expecting him to do it in Summer League. Don't forget, this dude averaged under 7 points a game in college. Like, it's not like this dude was in college averaging 15, 20 a game and he was dribbling the ball a lot. You could tell his handle was loose. You could tell he wasn't used to creating his own shot against the level of competition that he was, but he won't really have to in the NBA. The dude is going to play a lot of off ball. He's going to shoot some threes. He's going to slash. That's all we need him to do, and give some effort on defense. So I think the high-end speculation is absolutely there with Carter Bryant. Now, I do think he will need to refine his own handle and shot creation a lot more before we start actually comparing him to Kawhi. But regardless, I see the high-end speculation. I just thought this was fun. Leave some love for this article down below. Leave me your thoughts on Carter Bryant, Dylan Harper. Would you agree, disagree with these takes? I'd love to hear from you. But now it's time to get into the main event, ladies and gentlemen. David Jones-Garcia. Well, it's been made official. Let's just take a look. Shams Charania just saying David Jones-Garcia, all Summer League first team breakout guard, has agreed on a two-way NBA contract with the San Antonio Spurs agents. Darunius doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because Jones-Garcia, I tried. I'm sorry. He's joining the Spurs. It's been made official. And look, full transparency, if you're one of the people that somehow clicked the video while it was live for a minute, I just posted a video on this crazy article from Eurohoops after he turned down the Olympiacos offer, and they said it was to continue with the Spurs. You can see here, turned down the Olympiacos Piraeus offer to continue with the San Antonio Spurs. And I was like, that's interesting, but it hasn't been made official. Well, guess what? It actually is. And we're first ones on this video. As Don Harris says, getting David Jones-Garcia on a two-way is a huge bargain for the San Antonio Spurs. Get him for 50 NBA games for just over $600K. No cap it. Can convert him into a full NBA contract at any time. You're allowed 15 full roster spots and 3 two-way deals. We now are at 13, and we haven't signed Harrison Ingram or Riley Minix. I'm guaranteeing you one of those is reserved for Minix. We'll have to wait and see with Harrison Ingram. But hey, look, we've penciled David Jones-Garcia in there as the third string 3 at the moment, even though it's a two-way deal. This is such a fantastic deal for the San Antonio Spurs because it's low risk, right? I was worried when well, not worried, but when I saw that David Jones-Garcia turned down reported 2.2 million euros per year tax-free to play with Olympiacos, I was like, well, he's probably gone. But no, like when he turned it down, or sorry, not probably gone. I was saying he's probably gone from the Spurs. Like, I don't think we can afford to match that kind of money, right? Maybe some other team saw him and were like, let's bring him in on a one-way deal. I mean, look what he can do. He can shoot the ball. He can slash. He can get to the rim, right? He's shown a lot of incredible skill in Summer League, and I think the way he played with pace was also very impressive. Like, the game was slow for him, and I think that is a very good indicator that you'll be able to transition pretty well to the NBA level, let alone the insane G League stats he had, let alone the fact he was first team all Summer League, averaging 22, 6, and 4 on 53% shooting, like 50% from 3. I thought that when he turned down this offer, he would be signing with someone for like a couple $1 million on a one-way deal. But the fact that he's on a two-way deal is the best thing for me. And right, again, this is why I think it's sneaky perfect, because it's such low risk, right? We saw what he can do. There's no secret what David Jones-Garcia can do. Will he play the 2? Will he play the 3? His game is more of a swingman kind of game, like a wing kind of game. He played a bit of point guard for the Spurs here in Summer League, but I think he kind of projects as a 2 or a 3 just because of his size, probably a 2. But right now, you can just kind of let him do whatever. The dude was a menace for Mexico City in the G League. This dude had a couple of 50 bombs. He averaged like 25 a game in the G League. He was unbelievable. He would have been our best G League player last year, right? When we're talking the other couple guys that we might sign to two-way deals in Minix and Harrison Ingram, well, guess what? They both average like 13, 14 a game, 15 a game. Jones-Garcia was like 25. And again, just to highlight what Don Harris said and why I think this is such a good deal, it's like, you can get him for 50 games at basically no cap hit, and you can convert him at any time. If you ever need David Jones-Garcia to fill in, you have him there, right? And it's just, again, that flexibility. And I feel like flexibility is something that I really, really love to see on any NBA team. Because right now we got Fox and Harper. I don't expect Jordan McLaughlin to play much at all. But guess what? He is serviceable as a backup if we need him, right? He's played backup minutes for a lot of his career. David Jones-Garcia, you need a scoring punch from your two-guard spot. Someone's hurt. Someone has to miss a game. He can come in and do that for you. At the 3, Vassell, Keldon Johnson, Carter Bryant, 3 pretty different styles of play. 3 guys that you can use at any time. From the 4, I mean, you could argue whether Olenek's a 4 or 5. Sochan and Barnes, a defensive menace who's working on a shot versus a 3-point sniping veteran who can score. Victor Wembanyama, Luke Cornett, both great rim protectors, but they serve different roles. Flexibility is something the San Antonio Spurs team has built right now, and with this signing of David Jones-Garcia is just improving that. And the fact that it's a two-way deal, again, that's the thing that just gets me the most excited about it. Because, again, I thought it would be a one-way deal. Like, when he turned it down, I was like, there's no way he's not getting a one-way deal. So, I think you can tell I'm excited. Is this going to set the world on fire in San Antonio? No, I mean, it's definitely not. But all the people who were saying to sign him, we got our wish, right? The dude looked great. He earned his money. And I'm just really glad that a team like the Spurs, who took a chance on him in Summer League, let him showcase his talents, are giving him that contract. Don't forget, this dude also came off the bench for Dylan Harper in a couple of games, and he still was first team all summer league. So he has earned every single dollar that he earns this year, and I love that it's going to be with the Spurs. I love that it's going to be for less money than he was offered at Olympiacos, and I love that I'm going to get to watch his highlights again and cheer for him this year. So leave some love for David Jones-Garcia, all that stuff down below, because that'll do it for this episode of Spurs Digest. If you enjoyed, leave a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for tuning in every single day, all off season long. I've been your host, Josh Gosse, and I'll catch you in the next one.